On today's show,
we debate which team's slow start is more concerning, the Wizards or OKC.
Are the Sixers or Knicks more likely to sustain their hot runs? What will be LeBron's next meme?
And Tass and Lee take Crossfire into the woods.
It's Wednesday, November 8th. The starter starts now!
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're joining us live right now on NBA TV, watching later on YouTube, listening to the podcast, we're happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
Thank you for joining us.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily.
And last, certainly not least, over yonder, it's the bearded one. It's Trey Kirby.
Hey-o!
TK, what's up, my man?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag #TheStarters. And if you follow us on Instagram at #TheStarters, you've no doubt seen the photo corner. This beautiful patch of studio where we always take pictures anytime we have a guest on the show. Now, some of these pictures turn out great, like this group shot of the six of us or when Lance Fresh and Damaris Lewis were here, but that's not always the case. Like yesterday when Lee ended up getting cuddled by Kevin McHale, or the time that I got boxed out by Skeets and Dennis Scott, or the time that Tass was hiding behind Skeets when Rudy Gay was here, or how Skeets never knows what to do with his arms, so he just does the same pose every single time.
That's my cool pose, man.
So that is the photo corner. But we need a better name for it, which brings us to today's question. What should we call the photo corner? Because right now, that's pretty bad. We could do a lot better. Maybe we just call it the Skeets arm cross corner. I don't know. But we want to hear from you. So let us know on Twitter, what should we call the photo corner? Send us your best tweets to #TheStarters. We'll check them out a little bit later, and I guess we'll settle on a name for this.
All right, yeah, I do feel like I have to do this the entire show.
You and Tristan
Cool.
Thompson
It
need a
looks
photo
cool.
together.
We got a fun show tonight here. We got Tass and Lee going head-to-head in Crossfire. We'll play a little fill-in-the-blank fun. We got the VSP. But first, we start with a little what you got. If you're new to the show, here's how this works. We're going to debate some questions Trey throws at us, try and decide on an answer, but you got to be careful. There's only one correct response, and that's whatever TK says it is. Trey.
Had a couple brutal losses last night. In Sacramento, the Thunder outscored the Kings by 15 in the first quarter, then lost the final three by 23 points to drop to 4-6 on the season. In Washington, the Wizards couldn't find the magic against the Mavericks, losing by 14 at home to the team with the worst record in the league. Guys, what's the more concerning start, the Thunder or Wizards? What you got?
I think it's the Washington Wizards because they're a ridiculously talented bunch. Confidence level is ridiculously high, as John Wall and Bradley Beal said this week, that LeBron and the Cavs, they lost on purpose because they didn't want to play the Wizards. They told Rachel Nichols that last year in the playoffs. That being said, their effort level doesn't match their confidence level. They just don't come out and play hard enough, and that's what happened last night. And they're 5-5 because of it. This team should be taking the opportunity here to jump into one of those 1 or 2 seeds in the Eastern Conference, and I worry about situations like that, effort levels like that, when you've had guys that have been together for long periods of time. And not to say that these guys are old or at their peak, but when effort level isn't there, I just worry about teams sort of decaying and the locker room sort of fraying.
They talk about that, though, as well, the Wizards. They say, oh, we know that we don't come out
They
focused
say it
enough.
after every game.
I know. It's crazy. It's so maddening because, again, Scott Brooks is there going, yeah, we talk about it being a great defensive team, and then we go out there and we just don't put the effort forward. And I mean, this is a team that I feel is capable of taking that #1 seed in the Eastern Conference when they're at their best. But they've now had 3 very sloppy losses to the Lakers, to the Suns at home, and now last night to the Dallas Mavericks, who led the entire game. That's what's really bad. That the fact that the Wizards didn't even get a lead and maybe blow it late with a couple of bad possessions, they were bad from the start. But let's talk about the Thunder, though, here for a minute as well, because aren't they supposed to be in win-now mode? And all their 3 stars, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, and Russell Westbrook, all sacrificing, all averaging around the same 20 points per game. But their offense looks pretty bad. It looks too congested.
It reminds me, and I'm sure you've seen this or read this, it does feel a little bit like when LeBron went to the Heat that first time and teamed up with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. A little bit, the offense turns into, okay, well, whose turn is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it my turn? Okay, I'll give it a go. Now it's your turn, Melo. Okay, Paul George, you get your shot. And that's what the Heat were like. The Heat started 9-8 when LeBron went there. And then when LeBron went back to the Cavs, they started 19-20. I think you could give them a little bit more of a pass just because, unlike the Wizards, these are new pieces that are trying to figure out the flow of a basketball game. Their defense is great.
Yeah.
That's why I'm less worried about that side of things. I think the offense is going to come around.
Statistically, their defense is great. But
it's second best defense in the league.
Yeah, but look at their record.
I get it. I know they're not happy with your record. We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
I mean, we said, are you worried? Are you worried? Are you worried? Well, no, the defense is great. They should maybe have a couple more wins. They're not winning close games. And I think a part of that comes down to that, well, who takes over here? Who gets these shots here? They got to figure that out. But I think they will. Give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, they've got excuses. I mean, they didn't have a training camp together because Russell Westbrook was basically out the entire training camp. Carmelo got there right before training camp. So, yeah, they've got some kinks to work out. But you said their defense is good, but late in games, their clutch situation on both ends is bad. And that's why I'm a little bit worried about their defense. They're going at Carmelo Anthony or Steven Adams. You see last night here, they switch on every pick. So Carmelo Anthony's got De'Aaron Fox, and De'Aaron Fox can just go slithering by him, and they make a play. And then De'Aaron Fox gets matched up on Steven Adams here, and he misses the shot. But they're switching every single play. And if Carmelo Anthony is going to be your four, he's got to play D, he's got to rebound. And in those two categories, they have not been good.
Right.
They're struggling in both departments. And they were historically great last year in clutch performances because they have Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
And this year they're historically bad right now, which is really surprising. I think Russ just has to get into, hey, I'm the best player on this team mode and be a little bit more hoggy. Because he's been great. It's Melo is the one who's kind of
That's why
holding them back a
I
little
think
bit.
Melo Billy Donovan should consider bringing Melo off the bench. I really think that would be a better way for them to start. It would open a little bit more space on their offense, and then it would give Melo, like what we're seeing with Dwayne Wade in Cleveland, the chance to just dominate against those second units. There's no question then who's getting his shots. It's only Westbrook and Paul George who then have to worry about shots in those first 5 or 6 minutes.
And we see the clutch struggle going on late in games. And Sam Mitchell brought up a good point yesterday on Game Time. He said, with a reduced timeout, coaches can't go offense for defense the way they used to. And you see Melo having to play both ends and them struggling a little bit because of it.
Trey, what's the answer to this one? What's the more concerning start?
I think it's the Wizards. Like Lee mentioned, they keep losing to bad teams. Seems to be a little bit of a motivation problem to me. But on the flippity-flip, the 76ers and Knicks are balling. After starting 0-3, both teams have gone 6-1 since then. The Sixers, without Joel Embiid, handled the Jazz last night in Utah. As for the Knicks, they beat the Hornets in MSG with Kristaps Porzingis going for 28 while hitting huge shots down the stretch. Guys, which run is more sustainable? The 76ers or the Knicks? What you got?
Man, I go back and forth on this
Yeah.
one because these two teams are really fun to watch right now, and a big part of the reason is Ben Simmons with the 76ers and then Kristaps Porzingis with the Knicks. I don't know what the answer is to this one. They're beating subpar competition here. I think you need to point that out. Both of these teams.
And
They're,
the Knicks
they're
are-
beating teams they should beat. They really are. They're not beating your upper echelon teams yet, but
The Knicks are coming back from huge deficits as well. That's a little bit of a
Yeah,
concern as
yeah.
well.
It's worrisome, yeah.
That they're getting the big crowd. They're incredibly fun to watch. There's no doubt when the Knicks are hot like that, coming back from big third and fourth quarter deficits, they're fun. But that's
last
where
night they were down like 9 points,
Yeah, I
like 5
know.
minutes to go. Porzingis comes back in and
Yeah.
tears it up.
And that's why I think it's the Sixers, because I'm just not quite yet convinced that the Knicks will maintain this sort of hot streak, this momentum they've got going. Whereas Ben Simmons without Joel Embiid last night was awesome. His shot wasn't necessarily for him, but he was still scoring. And you wouldn't think that a Joel Embiid team would win in a tough place like Utah without him. But Simmons, Saric was great as well last night. So I think it's the
think it's
Sixers.
Sixers?
The Sixers I'm going with more sustainable.
I think it is the Sixers because Kristaps can't just come in and save the day each and every night, and they can't be expected to score 120.
It'd be awesome if he did, though.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. But the Sixers are deeper. I know
Yeah.
it's crazy to say that, but they're just better up top. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players that can win you a basketball game, while the Knicks seem to be relying on Kristaps all the time. And they've dealt with guys coming in and out of the lineup like Joel Embiid missing 2 games. And they're still flowing because they've got another star in Ben Simmons, while the Knicks, they don't have that second star.
And there's what I was talking about. Both teams doing really well against teams that are below 500. Not as great against sort of your better teams in the league, but it's funny, Sixers are a better defensive team than they are
Yeah.
offense, and the Knicks, the flip of that, better offensive team right now than they are defensive.
That's why I'd be happy to take the Sixers as well,
Yeah.
because you can't teach effort, as the old hats say.
Trey, what's the answer?
Well, as the old hats say, I think it's got to be the 76ers. They've got 2 great players. The Knicks have 1. 2 is more than 1. Whoa, big boys! Whoa, big boys. The Bigs were beasting last night. The Nuggets, Nikola Jokic scored a career-high 41 while adding 4 threes, 12 boards, and 5 assists in a win. Kevin Love went throwback mode against the Bucks, putting up 32 and 16 with 8 offensive boards in a win. And the big guy duo of Boogie and AD combined for a very nice 69 points, 27 rebounds, and 8 threes, also in a win. Guys, what was the best big man performance? Jokic, Love, or Fire and Ice?
You just
What
said
you got?
You just said 2's better than 1, so it's got to be the Hot Boys, Fire and Ice, Boogie Brow Productions, whatever you want to call them. It's Anthony Davis and Cousins. That was decent. They're playing 2-on-5 basketballs right now and beating teams. They're 6-5.
Yeah, they beat the Pacers. It was a good win, but I'm going to give some love to Kevin. Easily his best performance of the season last night.
Kevin.
32 points. Trey mentioned the 16 rebounds. That was a real Minnesota Timberwolves Kevin Love there. Didn't even shoot a three-pointer last
Right.
night. The reason I'm pointing this out is because we talked how when LeBron had 57 against the Wizards, we were like, well, they can't rely on LeBron to get 57 for a win. Other guys need to step up. Ordinarily, a Cavs win in November you would kind of overlook, but where they are right now, I think it was a very significant and important win by Cleveland and dominated by Kevin Love of old.
It was great to watch Kevin Love go at it. And he is, we have to remember, playing a little bit out of position at the 5 spot. So a lot of credit to him for dealing with that. I got to go with Nikola Jokic because we don't talk about him enough. And I think he kind of goes under the radar a little bit, not only for his incredible performance on the court, but post-game when asked about the MVP chance, this is what he had to say.
What is it like to be known as the MVP?
That was funny.
Funny?
Yeah, that was fun. That
They're
was
serious, man.
Why so serious?
Why so
Jokic
serious?
throwing a little joker in there.
Yeah, he knows he's not the MVP.
He did outscore. He scored 41 last night. He outscored Brooklyn's starting 5 with 40 points.
He's awesome.
We could
He
have
is
thrown
awesome,
Porzingis in
yeah.
here, the Greek Freak in here with his 40 in the loss. What's the answer, Trey?
I'm giving love to Kevin too. 32 points, no threes, 8 offensive boards. That's big man ball.
All right,
Be
let's hear from the
advised.
people out there. Let's hear from you guys on Twitter. Hashtag the starters. What was the best big man performance last night? Coming up next, though, Tass and Lee debate the worst team in the league and more as we step into the crossfire. Don't go anywhere. Welcome to Crossfire, presented by TISO. Here's how this works. The champ will take on the challenger in 3 rounds. I'll declare the winner, and as always, the championship belt is on the line. Gentlemen, first question. It's a little rude, but it's pretty straightforward. What's the worst team in the league? Here we go.
The Atlanta Hawks, they're 2-9, and their best player, Dennis Schroeder, is going to come back to earth a little bit. The most shots of his career, and he's shooting 40% from 3, 48 from the floor. That's a career year. Those numbers are going to come down a little bit. And after that, who does this team have? Their next 4 leading scorers, Taurean Prince, Kent Bazemore, Marco Bellinelli, and John Collins, just not proven scorers in this league. That's okay because they're tearing it down to build them back up, but it's ugly.
At least they're fun to watch. You like watching Dennis Schroeder,
Sure.
and you know John Collins might throw down a crazy
Yeah.
dunk. The 2-7 Chicago Bulls are not fun to watch. They're not very good, and they've got the worst offensive rating in the league. 3 of their 7 losses have been by double digits, including a 32-point belting at home to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're just not fun to watch, and they're bad, man. It's
But
the Chicago Bulls.
they haven't had their best player
But
yet.
they're the
Zach
worst team
LaVine.
in the league right now. That was the question.
Okay, guys, I like it. Question 2, round 2 here on Tuesday. LeBron posted a photo to his Instagram account that included a meme of the cartoon Arthur. When asked about its meaning, LeBron said, quote, "I like Arthur." Okay, LeBron. Guys, I want to know, what'll be the next meme that LeBron uses? Here we go.
The Alonzo Mourning bench reaction gif. You know the one. We see it basically every night on Twitter. It's this one here where he's shaking his little head and then he's like, yeah, things aren't so bad. This to me represents LeBron. If this is his last season in Cleveland and he doesn't win the championship, he's like, I can't believe it's over again. But then again, I did bring a championship to this town, so I can leave and no one can really hate me anymore. Because when he first left, everyone hated him that he promised a championship, didn't deliver. This time he did. It's Alonzo.
I've got a more universal meme. This summer, we could not escape this meme. This guy checking out this young
this is
lady
not even a
while his
basketball
girlfriend is
meme.
disgusted. When Isaiah Thomas comes back, LeBron's going to be checking out Kyrie Irving after some bad play. You're going to see this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great Photoshop upstairs. Great stuff.
Meme versus meme action here in the crossfire. All right, it's very close here, guys. Third question, third round. Finally, Wolves star Jimmy Butler recently went on a camping trip with ESPN The Magazine. He didn't know how to set up a tent, and he then fell into a lake while canoeing. Not much of an outdoorsman. I want to know, guys, who would be the best player to go camping with? Here we go.
I'm going Dwight Howard. I think he loves playing games. You know, he'd go play some manhunt or tag or whatever. I think he loves pranking people. You know, maybe go up to another campsite, throw some water in someone's tent, whatever campers do. And I think around the fire, at the campfire, it's story time. He'll make up some
Could you
dumb
trust him
stories.
around the fire, though? That's the problem with
Oh,
with
come
Dwight Howard.
on. He's
I'm
an
going with a
adult.
true outdoorsman, and that's Karl Malone. What's important about this is that he's a retired player.
Yeah, he's retired.
Yeah, but when are you going to go camp with Dwight Howard? He's always playing. Karl Malone has got plenty of time on his hands. He knows as well, if you get a tent with him, it's going to be a massive tent. He's a big dude, so there's going to be plenty of
I'm
room
not
for
getting
you.
a tent with Dwight
He's
Howard.
a great hunter. He's going to go out and be able to get you food to eat.
Yeah,
It's going to be perfect.
Because you
wanna-
can't afford any
hey,
food.
Dwight's going to be eating
Okay,
Skittles all night.
okay. It came down to the final question. It did come down to the final question. But new Crossfire champion,
Yes.
the true outdoorsman, Lee Ellis.
Yeah, this is for my family, for everyone who's believed in me, who's been with me the whole journey.
You should
We're
thank
never
Karl
going to be
Malone.
apart again.
Lee with the win.
Yes.
We gotta take a break. When we return, the Greek Freak is getting his own signature shoe. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more. Fill in the blank fun when we return. Welcome back to the Starters, where it's time for a little fill in the blank fun. Trey's got the questions, we've got the answers. Let's do it.
The biggest sneaker free agent in the game is off the board as Giannis Antetokounmpo recently announced he'll be sticking with the swoosh, with ESPN reporting that Nike will be making a signature shoe for the MVP candidate. Rumor has it the shoe is going to be called the Giannis 1, but fill in the blank. Giannis's new Nike shoe should be called blank.
What do you got, Lee?
I'm going with the Giannis Giants.
What?
Because it's going to be a giant shoe, because
1,
he's
2,
a giant.
3.
Yeah, because then it's
Well-
like, have you got the Giants 1? Have you got the Giants 2?
Okay.
Got the Giants 3? Like the Jordans, the LeBrons.
No, I get how shoes work.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
So
it.
I think it's got to be simple. It's a short word. You know,
It's not going to be giant for everybody who wears the shoe, though.
might be. They might get
Might
big
not
ones.
be.
Interesting move. Interesting move.
My shoe is going to be called the It's Nice. Because when we had the pleasure of interviewing him here back in his rookie year, way back, that was his favorite saying. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. And his shoe, I'm sure it's going to be nice. It's nice.
Needs to be better than
you
nice.
guys are overthinking this. I think you just go with the freaks, because that sounds cool. I mean, like any good shoe. Like, are you just wearing the Kobe's, the Bronze, the Dames? What are you wearing? I'm rocking the freaks tonight.
I got the Giants.
Don't
one.
overthink it.
I got the Giants 2 one.
What?
The Giants 2.
I already hate your answer so much. The
don't know.
Giants 2. Are those Giants 2 or 3 you're wearing tonight?
Freaks,
they're the
there's-
threes.
The freaks. What's wrong?
There's a bit of a pejorative connotation with
What are you
the freaks.
talking about?
The freak. You're a freak.
He is in a good way. In a very good way.
Hey, the
What's the
freak's
next
in a
one?
good way.
He's a good
Yeah.
freak. They're definitely not calling it the Giants, though. I'll tell you that. Anyways, we're 3 weeks into the season, and not only has Kawhi Leonard not yet played for the Spurs, there's still no timeline for his return, and Greg Popovich just said that he's coming along more slowly than expected. Not great. Guys, fill in the blank. Spurs fans should be blank with Kawhi's rehab progress.
Patient. You need a bowl of patience.
Where do
don't-
you get those?
Look, you're fine. What are the Spurs are 7-4. Kawhi is eventually going to get back here.
Yeah.
The Spurs never leak any sort of thing. They're not giving you any real news with this.
Yeah, that's why I'm worried, though, is
But-
because they have said, Greg Popovich has said, we're behind here. He isn't responding to rehab the way we thought he would.
He's not responding to rehab the way Tony Parker is. I thought
No,
is what they were
not
alluding
responding
to.
to rehab the way we thought he would. He's responding slowly. I mean,
fine.
in preseason they said he's gonna miss preseason and he'll be back. But Greg Popovich doesn't ever reveal anything. He always just says that doctors will deal with it.
Yeah.
But now he's saying he's just not coming along that well. So I'm concerned.
I would you be all that surprised if Pop said that one night and the next night Kawhi Leonard was playing?
That's why
I
That's why I went not worried. He'll come back and he'll be ready to play.
Yes.
He won't come back and need 4 or 5 games to get back.
You're also
into
not
things.
3-8 here,
Nah.
4-7. You're not like, oh, how are we going to make the Western Conference playoffs? You're still
Yeah.
one of the better teams in the
Yeah.
West.
I'm just worried because it wasn't an injury that happened at the end of the season. It's a recurring injury
Yeah.
with his thigh. It wasn't because Zaza stepped under him. So
Has
I'm
nothing
a little
to
bit
do with
worried.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm a little bit worried.
All right, Trey, what's the final one?
All right, put your favorite posters in your room last night on Players Only. The crew got to talking about their favorite NBA posters of all time with some classics like Dominique Wilkins, the Supreme Court, and the Iceman being shout out. These ones are great, guys. I want to hear from you, though. Fill in the blank. My favorite NBA poster is blank.
I don't need to write anything.
What?
I'm just going to pull out the Vince Carter and one Thai cheese from the 2000 Slam Dunk contest. We all remember that beautiful, beautiful night. The perfect dunk performance. It was spectacular, and he's wearing those and one Thai cheese. And I bought myself a few and ones about 8-9 years back because they fit my fat feet very well.
You got to get in the starters dunk contest.
Sounds like you got
then,
giant
man.
feet, man.
I don't have giant feet, no.
What do you got, Lee?
I'm going with Sultans of Slam. Now, the reason I've chosen this one is because it's a classic 80s poster. And a good friend of mine back in Sunbury had this poster, and I was desperate to acquire it.
Yeah.
And I offered him a lot of money at the time.
What are we talking?
I'm talking like $50 Australian back in the 80s, which is like probably $500 right now.
Wow, you were a baller.
Yeah, no, I'm not a baller because I had nowhere near $50 to pay him.
okay.
So he held firm, and I couldn't twist his arm, but I was so desperate to get this poster. It was just awesome. I couldn't get it. It's my favorite poster.
I went with the starters, and then I put a duh on there. Obviously, I'm going to say a start. I'm talking about our new or recent 80s themed sports posters of our own. We have our own posters.
That's
Taz-
awesome.
Taz is the garbage man. Trey is the high flyer. Lee, you're the sharpshooter.
Nice.
A weird Robin Hood type dude. I'm the maestro. Put them all together. You got those 4 guys.
Somebody needs
that's
to
a
hang that
poster.
in their room.
Yeah, who's hanging that in the room? Take a photo of it.
Jared Yeldell, maybe?
That's possible. All right. Let's hear from you guys. A fun question brought up there last night by C-Web. What's your favorite NBA poster of all time? Hit us up on Twitter. #the starters. We got to take a break. When we come back, Lili, the sharpshooter, hits us with his very solid play. Back with the starters, we asked you, what should we call the photo corner? You see it there. You hit us up on Twitter. Trey's got a few of the best answers.
Yeah, some good ones. This one comes from Samuel Fleming, who says the wedge, because it's wedged in there, like thing you celebrate on that show. That thing is called a wedgie, Samuel. Jason says the restricted area. Pretty straightforward. I don't mind it. My favorite answer, though, comes from Eliteness, who says a classic, the little corner. After the Cinderella song, and there you see a little Skeetsy hanging out with Cinderella.
All right.
Take her to the dance very indifferently.
Let's check last night's pick'em results. 3 of us had the Pelicans, 3 of us were right. Tass had the Pacers. That's an X. So Tass and Lee currently in last place. Tonight's pick'em play, well, nothing's going to change in terms of overall standings because we all have the Heat in Phoenix. That one available on League Pass tonight. Lee, where are we going for VSP?
We're going out to Cleveland for a gorgeous one here from the Milwaukee Bucks. A lot of ball movement at Snelly and Telly. Unfortunately, no sign of Delhi. But still, look at that ball fizzing around there. Brogdon back to Telly for the finish. That's what I call a very solid play.
Now it's time for an old classic, the highlight that wasn't. Just because a play wasn't converted doesn't mean it wasn't pretty. And that is the very definition of this play by Lance Stevenson. Watch this pass.
Oh, the flare!
It was gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, Mr. Leaf couldn't finish it off right there.
Oh, it's nice to have that back in our life. All right, let's check in on those mustaches from our 2 cameramen, Rick and Todd. All right, slow starts, I would say, but
Did you
help
guys
us
start
out.
growing them?
Help us out. Go to Movember.com, search for the starters. We're trying to raise money for Men's Health. We got a long way to go here. Come
might
on,
have to
guys.
get back
We don't
in.
ask for much from you. Movember.com, search for the starters. Let's help Rick and Todd out and get those stashes growing. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, if you got a wide foot, looking for a basketball shoe, and you're not the most dynamic player, these are great for you. Nice wide base.
Praise the night, people.
Fantastic.